All right, we're live everywhere, guys. Let me go ahead and alert the squadron. But they got bananas growing in the backyard. All right. Why is the TikTok stream summary in Russian? Because I am Soviet Russian spy, yes? I was kidding. Just kidding, government.
TikTok is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Welcome to Soviet Russia, yeah? Now watch me eat this pickled fish.
Double down.
He says he fucks the motherland. No, wait, is it fatherland? No, it's that's Germany. Yo, peep, SPX today, brother. You got that fucking name is too much, bro. Are you from England too? Motherland, that's right. Ah, motherland. Yeah, you know what though? I'm thinking this one. That's you're building something. But trust me, dude. This one and that floor. That's all. That's all that matters. And this box. This is a weak link right here. Brother, I can't ever tell if that's a motherfucking soundboard or actually you. That was actually you, though.
That was a soundboard. Buenas tardes.
Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is. Yo, how are my elf holders feeling today, dude? New highs. Fucking fat 24-hour candle. We're almost there. Almost hit 110 today. I'm thinking we got 113 on the horizon. Been such a fucking nice trade.
Garrett, on your equity, when it hits your target, you sell it or you just hold it and let it keep going.
Um,
And like,
I have a plan that I came up with previously. Because I mean, this could be a great place to hang on to a piece of this position, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I expect us to run, into this monthly 118, 127. Those are my targets. But of course, this is something that is going through those rotations, one, two, one, two. And so I think it's worth exploring the possibility of price trying to grab hold of the 160s or translating that, yeah, the 160s, or if you look at the weekly, that 155, 154. So I think I'm going to play this just like I do with options, right? As we are rock climbing, right, there's certain areas that I want to make sure that we hold on to. And once these areas are recovered, they'll serve, right? What I do is try to basically like secure the bag, secure a bag. And if price, and I'll know that when it happens, it moves past these levels and starts building on top of them, in them, I'm going to use, right, that previous take profit point as my stop loss essentially, because my exit is the end of empty space. And structure is the only thing holding us up from falling back into that. So I'll look at this basically as, yeah, an exploratory potential continuation. I mean, and this is a candidate, to this has been something that's actually secured a downtrend, right, on a bigger scope. And it's something that I think is worth trying to see if I can break that. It's a big makeup company, so it's everywhere. Not that I'm privy to what the fuck is going on with their makeup brand, but all right. Good afternoon, everybody. Wee. They sell beauty cream and perfume. That's one way to put it. Yeah, makeup, facial stuff.
How do you buy their makeup on the side?
I don't know.
I'm fascinated by this.
I do go into the store in Sephora and Ulta with Peyton, so she can buy whatever she wants, because if I don't go with her, she will act like we are still poor. And
She buys whatever she wants.
No, she doesn't. She gets all like, I don't know if I should. Me and her went through, poverty together, and she still has a, which I'm not mad at, but if I'm
Trauma
there
scars.
with her, if I'm there with her, she's just frugal. That's it. She's frugal, but um some of the stuff that's in Ulta and Sephora are pretty fucking expensive. So she'll be like, "Oh, I love this, but it's so expensive." And I'm like, "Just buy it. And just fucking buy it. What are you doing?" But if I'm not there, she won't buy it. So
Dang.
I await the day for when you put elf makeup on. Yo, Potter, what does my what say? I don't want to say that overnight or whatever you just said. All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. It's 2:38 right now on the 24-hour. Our spy tried to go fill the gap and has failed. Is currently actually moving pretty quickly to the downside as we approach the end of the day. And I can say for certain that we are getting close, right? That Friday low is the potential new low, or what will likely drive us down to that 762.38 and our potential 759.84, which is the overnight target if we were to trigger this down. That being said, looking at the hourly, again, we still have some fish to fry. But a lot of that structure that was meant to be recovered, and there is a still, again, it's not like we do not have triggers and things to go and recover that we can use as points, right? Like 766.45 and 766.90. But if we continue, and this is a lot of volume to work through, but if we continue dropping, 764 is that next lower time frame cost basis that will likely keep driving price down. So now, backing out, this is not a high conviction candle, but it also shows a lack of conviction, period, which is not good. That's bearish. And if we see any sort of escalation overnight, which Trump is pretty good at, avoiding, not literally, but just with tweets, um, that's the only potential. But it looks bearish at the moment. 757 is in mind, but let's take a look at IWM, which I believe could be or could have already front run. I know you guys, if you have been in this trading group for an extended amount of time, you have watched me many times talk about the divergence or the lead and the lag between IWM and between SPY and the Qs. And a lot of the times, IWM will jump the gun and it will go ahead and rip, or it will go ahead and dump before all else does. It's actually pretty sick because not a lot of people catch on to this. That being said, there is a gap, nasty gap down below, all the way to 289. I'm not going to start calling for, major breakdowns quite yet. We've seen very, very rocky price action, and without a proper catalyst, every single level matters. So going into tomorrow, I see 291.76. We'll talk shop about anything else if that trigger breaks. And ultimately, if it did, one could be theorizing a potential drop to 285. For those of you guys hedging yourselves, if you're trading to the upside in other parts of the market, or you have upside positions, IWM with that target of mind might be a good place when the time is right off of a rejection or what have you. But I try not to short after everything has already been shorted. I try to short after a bounce has been secured. So it may be a gap down overnight, bounce retest that might set that up better. Anyway, if it doesn't sound clear, that's because it's not. The Qs, dreaded, have been stuck in between these 4-hour blocks on both sides. And that is the story going into today as well. I don't really see any huge signs. The 24-hour candle remains inside of that same range that we talked about previously, which may be hinting at a potential drop to that 706.42. And again, if those floors give out, if those catalysts come through, 695 is the drop target. But right now, as we close the end of the day on the Qs, those triggers still remain unbroken. So We sit dead slaps in between. I don't try to be right in areas like this. I just try to be on the right side when it reacts. So he's literally giving out free knowledge that people lock behind expensive courses. You pay no attention to the chat. Why go live? I am giving you a rundown for free on my outlook on the ETFs, which contain a lot of the stocks that you're looking at. I do this every day. This is the pre-market prep. This is the post-market prep. This is whatever Sundays. I go through my watch list. I go through the ETFs. I go through the Forex Factory, and then I take your request and I read the chat. So if that is offensive to you, be my guest. You may move on. I will stream to 10 viewers the same way I will stream to 300 or 500. Gang, gang.
Lies. All lies.
It's not true. We. Papa Potter don't. Oh, you're good. The audacity. Yeah. 6:30 on Sunday. All right. Now, I will say the Qs have a certain look about them right now, but that just means watch. I know that. All right. Now, going into tomorrow. Whoops. We got ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 a.m. Manufacturing prices and JOLTS job opening as far as the economic data is concerned. And then for our, you're sharing videos with me right now. For our earnings calendar here tomorrow morning, we're going to have NEO. We'll see if those contracts that you guys decided to liquidate are going to move and see that target at 390. There's some time on them, so we'll see what we get. Credo, Dell, PanW, MongoDB, GitLabs, Sportsman Warehouse all report tomorrow after the close. Roy be yelling out gang gang. So you would wear the green goblin mask for 10 viewers too? Hell yeah. Yeah. I've done less. I've done more for less. But I like having fun. I don't like making these all super professional, which I know some people don't like, but I like having fun. Nice Matt Short. I need to see Potts in the MF Doom mask. Where's my MF Doom mask? Oh, there it is. That one. All right. Tap your screens. All right, folks. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Too much caffeine. Now, I already went through my watch list. It'll still is ass. All right. So let's see if we can perhaps add. I will say the only thing that I watched today and I'm watching right now is just watching PLTR, wanting to see if it moves. And then I also had my eyes peeled on MU, which fucking sucked. So, other than that, if you guys have any requests, let me know. But these sectors right now lie in wait for a future catalyst. The ball oh my god. Nick, that's crazy. Potter is hilarious. Every time he talks like Trump, I lose it. I've never done that before. Thoughts on Amazon now after the rug pull? Holy shit. Thoughts on Amazon? Holy shit. Holy fuck. They were not playing. Now, you have to lose something, right? As big as a candle as that is, and it is losing levels that it has adamantly held before, but it is still off of 956, 955, that you have a beautiful breakdown. And I mean, this is a great engulfment. And I know that's obviously probably not what people want to hear. So what does it need to do, right? This is where we go into problem solving mode. What has to happen from here right now? Now, looking over to my left, I'm already seeing responses from that level in particular. And that's what you had to go and curl up above to reclaim. And it looks like that's what they're trying to curl you back over to hold that candle up. That's coming off of this small range over here to your left. That is 257.81. There's a 30-minute wick. I like to look at the top of those wicks because that's typically telling you where that lower time frame resistance is that's been established that's keeping you down. It's going green. So this could be, all right, can I bring up an example? See that? See the rug pull? Same shit happened on Meta, and it pulled itself up, filled it back up, and guess what happened? Ass all around. Which honestly, might start having to look at Meta again because this thing looking good. Boy, look at that bad boy, looking good. Anyway, so that's my example that I think you should keep in mind. While this has, of course, it's easy to say that there's potential continuation when you see a big red leg down, but it is also the same area. Look, bam, bam, chop. They will fill that empty space up if you cannot. And by the end of the day, look for those signs. Look, it's happening right now. Literally as I said it. 3 minute. Okay, I can just go ahead and make a range here. But I would assume that as you move down here, yeah, there's benchmarks. There's areas that you can utilize. So that be careful, okay? Whenever they give you those big fucking moves, you know. Do you have some neurospicy photographic memory? You can recall specific moves right quick. Yeah, I don't know how to describe how I remember things, but yeah, I just see when I see yeah, it's all like pattern recognition. So like if I see similar patterns, it lights up this area in my brain where I remember this specific setup or kind of consolidation, you know. I also have this weird talent of remembering the blueprints almost down to the measurements of every house that I've ever toured, down to where like I'm 5 years old. I can still remember, you know, even if I only passed through it once. If you give me a little, yeah, which is not a really good
You can
skill.
walk lines with your eyes closed, can't you?
I can do what?
Walk through mentally with your eyes closed.
Yeah, I can walk through houses mentally, like literally
Yep.
visualize the rooms, the doors.
Obsessed with house layouts, floor plans.
It's not even an obsession. It's just something that I don't know how to describe it. It's just some weird thing. I can draw it. I can like draw the fucking blueprints. It's weird. Maybe I should be an architect. I don't know.
Do you
Yeah,
like trains?
I do fucking actually really love trains.
Touch of the tism this
Love
How
trains.
did you know?
Trains and grilled cheeses, brother.
Chicken
yeah.
delight.
Holy shit. I'm really good with measurements too. Like but that's from extracurricular activities. Bank of
Whoa.
America. No, wait, what? What do you mean, whoa? It's helping spread the flower of love, man. I don't know what you're looking for on this one, but it is going to be a 62.75 if you're looking to fill that empty space up. Very short, very small. Big of a okay, so you're looking at that one on a lower time frame. That is the 2 hour. Yeah, I can recognize that. Your chart looks good. Amazon, Suprete. Yeah, okay, we just did that one. I want to see what that candle close looks like. UNH down to 385. Yes, 387. You have to re-break that. There's a good chance you'll still find yourself with somebody, but that is 384. But first here, be careful on that one, man. I've got my eyes peeled on it, but yeah, this has a good chance of boxing itself up if it falls any quicker. All right, Adobe to the upside. I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. Hold on. How many marks are on the tape measure, Mr. P? On a tape measure, like a construction one or like a ruler? Like I said on Adobe, this one could be a good entry now right? If you have a good expiration and a great stop loss on it, it hasn't broken over its, range highs, but it is not bad. It is trying, it's hardest to hold on to that floor. And if you know that floor is what's holding you up, then if you have the right expiration and you can see those lower time frame triggers breaking down, even something like falling underneath that 290, 98, you could just find a re-entry. But yeah, no, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. It's stair stepping its way up. Looking at further ahead on Tesla. Okay, so I had a feeling today, and we ended up hitting that same wick perfectly. That wick comes off of a lower time frame floor, but if you go to the 8 hour, I believe it's the 4 hour. Yeah, here's the 8 hour right there. That's exactly what it's trying to grab hold of. That being said, when I look at these setups, right, I look at what's above and what's below, and it's tough to interpret on that 8 hour and on the 4 hour. So, like looking down here, right, this is where I kind of look at, what has happened and what can't happen going from here. If you look over to your left, that's where you punch through. So, even this top, right? And of course, the top right, or this 363.51 is an area that I want price to retest. So it doesn't look bad. And I will say the fact that it fell quickly here as we gotten towards the end of the day, that can be filled up just as easily. So on the 5 minute 363.50, same level, we just want to maintain those prices. So for now, without a big box or empty space getting filled up and without a floor being recovered, you're in a state of read and react, right? That's a real way to trade in a real position that we have to or we find ourselves in when as we step over these certain hurdles, and certain longer expiration or even shorter expiration trades. So, all right,
Just keep an eye out on it because there's some interesting activity to the fleet happening.
roger that.
I
Okay.
posted in the chat.
Measure the wicks with the floor or just the candle thickness? The candle thickness.
Hey,
Thickness.
yo.
What thickness? When I look at the wicks, Al, I'm looking at what it's trying to grab hold of. And as I move into the lower time frames, it is mostly wicks on the 24, right? You guys notice that? And it's hard for me to I can't say, right, that these wicks are coming off of anything on the 24 hours. So I drop and I look for, okay, well, what is it? It clearly can't grab something. So I'm going to the 8 hour. I see that it's clear here. So now I know what does it need to grab and what time frame does it need to grab it on. I can then go to the 4 hour and establish that that same analysis is true. So a 4 hour candle would be acceptable. I can also go to the 2 hour. That is also true. The 1 hour, pretty much the same story. And empty space leads me up to where? 374.60, and that's where price could likely go tomorrow, right? So,
Hey,
all
Potter,
right. Yeah, what's
your
up, boss?
other two streams are full, and Potter's right hand is not working right now.
It's not working. I kind of wore it out. Here, let me.
Your hat went down, puppy, by sitting on it?
I think
Have you
it's
tried cranking on it?
Yeah,
Why
sure,
is-
sure, like what I said.
There you go. Okay, so Wix included. If you see Wix and it's not all off of the same exact price point, you need to drop lower to see what it's trying to grab. How many of you on TikTok are an elf with us from the beginning? I'm just curious.
I was about to say, man, I need you to talk me out of cutting my position in half.
Why?
Just
Don't be an idiot.
30%.
130%.
Nah, I think it's like 122, but yeah.
I want you to go on ChatGPT right now. Tell it what your position is and ask it how much you'd be up when it hits 122.50.
Yeah, true.
Since you want to talk in money. I came after Elf. Started to ramp up. Okay, roger that. Yeah, I kind of paused a little at a weird time when I was reading that. All right, Klarna up. Keep dropping these requests, guys. I'm thirsty. I don't have any.
I like this one for equity.
Yeah, the overhead is getting eaten up. And this, like I said today, or was it earlier, this is one of those candles that's trying to close in a different fashion on that 24-hour, showing strength where you've normally shown weakness. You are closing in the wicks, but obviously not with any major forward progression, but you are up against it. This is a good way to close, dropping down to the 4-hour. We start to see kind of the makeup of what exactly is happening here, right? So you're gonna have to work for this one, okay? It's not gonna happen easily. I can tell you that much right now without a catalyst, which I cannot predict all the time. But I would say at the moment, you need to get through that 1480 and just even anywhere in these fucking wicks with a candle close on the 4 and the 2-hour. I think the 2-hour is actually going to be imperative to keep an eye on because you want to close outside of 1490. And if you can do that, I think you have a real shot. How far of an expiration on Elf? Brother, we've been holding since like 55. So I'm not sure what everybody's average is. Some people have like a $50, 55, 52, 53. Everybody's got different positions, but we've been holding this one since June. So, and my plan is to take it all the way to 122 and explore price up into the 150s. Oh no. Oh no.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, what about me, dude? It's just like my
I'm,
father.
I'm,
You're just like my father. You
I
abandoned
tried to
me.
get back in, but I should have done shares.
Could have just put full port, dude. All right, let's see. MDT guys, I need to know which direction you're wanting these requested. Okay. You help me, I help you. Can't really think of anything else, to be honest with you. Kind of empty after that one. Medtronics. What happened here? You hit that, and you broke out from this. And obviously the 4 is over here to your left. If you can hold 90, you can flip back over above 92 and explore a second tap up here at 94. Cannot obviously predict whether that's going to break or not, but I will say that empty space underneath you could be the next retest. I'm going to be honest with you. This thing does not leave empty space as it moves to the upside, that's for sure. Walmart for Friday. Walmart's been pretty good today. If you guys, obviously it's a slower mover, but it's moving into a pocket of empty space. I think 105.23 is a target for tomorrow. Now, getting up and above that specific target, I think is going to be, I can't emphasize how important that is in order to see price continuating. Very good. But continuation above that 104.95 into that 105.25, 105.50. Let's see price push over that. And then, at the overhead, that's all you got. So it's going to be 106 and 106.50. Damn, Elf is moving up. Moving on up. Look at that. I got 2 phones. One for the plug and one for the trap. Oh, shit. Yo, I accidentally tried to put in my passcode too many times with my butt. I had my phone in my pocket, and now it's unavailable for 5 minutes. Awesome. Love when that happens. Oh, wee. So, too much what? Too much cake. Is that what he just said? Let's get him out of here. All right. Z scalar. That is couldn't be clearer. You know this one. You got this one. We talked about that one. Yeah. 190 over the highs. You're there. Good great candle close today. Great candle close, 8 hour. You're above where you need to be. You need to maintain price above 188.44. So yeah, I think 197.50 is on the horizon. Lulu straddle, is that that's tonight or tomorrow? When is Lulu? Le Monde. Can we get a verification on that earnings date? It says the Thursday. Yeah, if it's Thursday, I think we talked about this morning. I think 166 on the upside. Okay. Um Unfortunately all I have is 101 down, 101 and maybe like 99. Yeah, Lulu is and what do the contracts look like? Are they outrageous? Jesus.
Bro, Gil- when did Z Skillers Pawns get so expensive, bro?
I don't know. These are cheap as fuck. I'll definitely take some 160s, 150s lightly. And then some 99 $100 strikes. So 100 and 160. That's my straddle on that one. You heard it here. And no crying in the casino. All right. If you get your ass whooped, turn around and say, "Yes, daddy." I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was too far. That's okay. That's all right. It's my stream.
I'll definitely do that.
I know you will. You always do. I'm just kidding.
Alright, bro.
You said it, dude. You said it.
No,
It's
I did
crazy.
not say all that, bro.
Okay, so what did you basically boy, this thing sucks balls. You did fall fast enough where a retest of $27 is possible, but that needs to happen ASAP. You're back at the square root of it, actually, speaking of. How far of an expiration? I keep it cheap, guys. I don't want to I keep it cheap on those type of opportunities. Nice and cheap, skis. Damn. DocuSign's moving. Who's in DocuSign? Uppies, I know Sunday you said options are doo-doo, but they seem manageable. If you can manage it, brother, do it. You're heading to 67.50 right now. $81 is on the horizon. I think it's to ripping. Let's see. Nah. It doesn't look bad. No, it does not look bad. It's just the way it moves can be a little cranky. But 81 seems like a potential target up yonder. All right, MDB, Gamble, Dumpy. If I join your Discord, would you be able to spend more time explaining how you create your support and resistance lines? Yeah, of course. I mean, I also haven't been able to like just host a class on TikTok in a long time. So, or I haven't rather. So, gamble Dumpy. You're gambling on a Dumperino for what? Earnings? They got earnings today. Does it move on earnings? Hardly, I guess. Decent, decent, trash. That was after the dump. Decent. So I mean, there's decent little. It looks like it only moves on earnings. So, yeah. I see 380 obviously to the downside, but I also could throw the 510 target up there too as well. Airbnb downside. When does this company crash? 3 years ago ish. What? Oh, what's up, Manny Whacker? The old bid whackers here. Spread his Christmas joy. Okay, so you punch through that. Did you fill up all of your empty space here? 196. You're very close, yeah. Yeah, you're definitely close to potentially dropping here. And I would say, even though that's Mike, I think the cost basis might be a little bit off. But yeah, this definitely looks pretty short. Let's see. Whatever that is broke. So other than, staying below that 184.23, yeah, this does give off 179.38 and 178.98 will be two areas that it might try to bounce shortly, but if you can get a breakdown on that, that'd be dope. Yes, I have puts on Neo earnings. Already grabbed them. We probably own all of them. They may see us now. How do I know if I'm creating a proper Potter box? For example, Walmart on the 30-minute, I created a large Potter box based on what I see. Obviously, one of the first things is if you're on the higher time frame, which is where I want people to start charting those at, you should be able to see equal or semi-equal points of contact on both sides, right? Or the candles are opening and closing inside of the same range for a 3 to 4 day period. That's going to be the first clue that you have a box. But obviously I'd need to see your charts. I'll hold a class soon, guys, on TikTok. I see boxes in my daily life and my dreams now. Good God. It's good though. It's good. Looking at 56 on the weekly. Um, Obviously with the weekly, it still needs to close through cost basis, but yeah, 48.19 and outside of 51.78, that would be a reasonable target. A Potter box. No shit. Hmm. Still fighting with that cost basis. So you're not going directly into empty space, and when you go down here, to the 24-hour, you're fighting for that floor, but it's 197.87 that's going to make this whole thing work. So I did not take Zscaler. No, I did not. I have not taken anything. You said my Lulus just went up 50%. Damn, the Discord might have pumped them. Nothing. No. Google and Amazon upside. Oh, what the fuck. I'm curious to see if we punch back through this box and go up on Google, because you are sitting on top of this really fire volume. And above 339.50, you have empty space back up to 344, where you would find out, you got a lot of empty space to the upside, not so much to the downside, and you're bouncing off of that box. So resolution may be, I mean, I could see this one bouncing going into tomorrow and at least attempting to try to grab that floor. So, all right. My Lulu calls and puts are up. They're pumping. Reading chat. Wait, what? Reading chat seem more like an art. People will interpret charts seem more like an art. People will interpret it differently. I don't think so. I mean, you're gonna have different interpretations, but once people see the same thing, right? Like I can go through my Discord right now and I can see the people who see what I see, right? I can see Applejacks's chart, right? And it's interpreted in what I would assume the correct way. But this isn't based off of kind of like whimsy, you know what I mean? Like there's specific price points that have to a certain criteria that has to be met that looks the same across all boards. And it's my job to help you interpret it that way. And then, how you trade it could be up to interpretation. I think that's more of where the art is, because that's where you decide how you want it: longer expiration, shorter expiration, day trade, swing, scalp. Because typically one setup like this will foster all of them. So. All right, Neo was a put. I haven't grabbed the other side. I'm going to do that here shortly. Yeah, the upside doesn't look as spicy, you know. It's not really a lot of targets, maybe like $5 or $6, $5.50. But man, that thing just, I almost don't want to even get the hedge. It's on a small account. I think I got like 25 contracts, so. Is there too many boxes for NVIDIA 30-minute? I think there's a clear price target up and down. Weekly's terrible. 24 hours, not so good. So you are going to be dealing with possibly treacherous trading conditions. You're holding the same floor that you held before, and same price point virtually, and same overhead resistance at 221, 4-hour time frame. So a lot of these boxes, I think that you've drawn, which, okay, they're on the hourly or lower time frame, 30-minute. Okay. Let's see here. That box got punched through, pop down, punch, pop. So the same phenomenon would have to happen here. There's no arguments, right? Yes, 219.85 is a trigger up into that empty space. You do have repeated big buys down here that keep price from settling further down, and maybe in efforts to try to squeeze this fucker back up into that empty space. So you're quick at reading charts. Oh, thank you. Lots of practice, man. I need Neo to go to hell. Well, we shall see, won't we? I don't need it, but it would be nice. Not a fan. Whatever the hell this is. Looks like on the weekly, though, you are trying to push out of that range. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this chart makes any sense to me at all. Yeah, this is where you lose me, because it's what, the overhead high at 15, but there's no boxes, there's no empty space. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel back from trying to add any further analysis on that one. Congrats to those of you who were able to catch this Roblox trade today. Not a bad little pop-a-reno over that 39.37 like we talked about, which led to the $40 break, which led to the $41 target, and that green candle to your left here on the hourly, that 41.59, that all targets slapped. Now, after targets get slapped, most people will ask, well, how do I know if it's going to keep going? Well, if you're a rock climber and these are the ledges, have you grabbed hold of the ledge to pull yourself up? Almost, right? You're getting there. So I think based on the candle on the 8-hour coming back to retest and bounce, the probability is still in your favor. 41.85 still remains a target to reclaim and to re-hold. So with these levels, do you guys wait for the certain candle close to go for it? So yeah, like something like Roblox, you can take it where you see many points of contact, right? If you see that price has been held here before and you close outside of an area where they control, that's going to allow price to typically rip, right? Um, and then from that point, like if you buy a longer expiration coming out of this because you want all of this to fill up, this is where your job is to interpret how price moves once it hits your target. Does it hold on what's below, and does it reclaim on what's above? And right now you're building in between the two, which is a good sign. But as far as waiting for a candle close, when we find the appropriate time frame, typically starting with the 24-hour, we're going to move down to see if that same floor or whatever on a 24-hour time frame lines up with the hourly, the 4-hour. And if we can find lower time frames that it lines up with, we can use those candles for intraday trades, so we don't have to wait for those candles to always close. Can I talk about Amazon? I just did. I said a few minutes ago to watch this one bounce, and to possibly trade it. There's a potential trade back up, and it is breaking all of those levels that I just talked about. I would assume now safely that if you want to go short on this bad boy, you're going to wait for volume to get hit. And I think that may be at more than likely at 260 or 261. But I bring up the example I just did. I brought up the example of Meta, and while I would love to say yes, and Meta actually kind of looks like it might be close to legging down, but if you look at the 5 minute on this one, it's the same picture, right? Big pop, big pump, big dump, big pop, and then it cinches volume up. And if you think about what this does to traders, guys, it creates a really volatile environment where money can be made. People pile in, they see the prices moving, and then they chop them to death, and then they rinse and they repeat, and they chop them to death, and they rinse and they repeat, and they chop them to fucking death. All meanwhile, you're staying inside of one fucking range. So you don't get a definitive direction, and you just get the shit kicked out of you if you hold too long. This would probably bend people in the direction of not being able to hold, when what's actually going to come from this is a move that you could hold all the way down to 553 or all the way up to 608, possibly 625. So nothing looks perfect to me. No, not outstanding. Again, I want to put this small account into something that's going to, my goal is Ivy here, and Alex, I guess you're next, but Ivy's car that she wants costs 22 grand USD. I want to flip her. It's not. It's a Chinese EV, but she wants to. Obviously, it's a lot, but and I don't have to make, but I would like to make $22,000 off of this $100, but I'm not gonna do it trying to fucking throw shit at walls. It's gonna come from a box, something like SoFi, honestly, which still is cooking, but some sort of area of consolidation on a stock that, like Meta, like Tesla, like maybe Nvidia, kind of on the shit list, honestly, to be but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because my every dollar counts, right? And with Ivy, it's kind of hard for her to get cash onto that account. So I don't want to fuck it up. It's not like mine. I could throw another 100 at it, right? I could throw shit. But I'm trying to act like there are no deposits here. You know what I mean? That's Ivy's money, so I don't want to fuck it up. Not like I'm not going to send it to her, but so it's risk free on her part. But this is an example of, yeah, nothing's fitting the fucking script. Listen, on her account, I'm not even willing to take this. And you might say, well, fuck, that's empty space, dude. You got the pullback retest. Maybe you bounce back up, inverse head and whatever. I don't want that. I don't want $39.80 to 49 cents. I don't want a dollar move. No, sir. I want a move that's going to take me to 50. And I want to hold the whole fucking way there because I will be able to turn this 100 to 1,000. And then I can take 200 of that and flip it for 5 Gs. And then we'll start there. Take on a little bit more risk. But the goal is to set myself up. And if it takes, if I only place 2 trades in 1 month, but those 2 trades give me 5,000-6,000%, that's a fat W. And this is the plight of most traders, is they think more is more, but less is more. The less you show up, the clearer you're going to see shit. And the clearer you're going to know exactly, especially if you've seen and been a part of these sort of trades, you're going to know this. I mean, this is why I think everybody loses. I mean, shit, even when I look at my losing streaks or bad trades, I'm like, dude, none of these looked that great. I was just, in front of everybody. I just, I wanted to, I speculate here and speculate there. But like at the end of the fucking day, we're not going to make money just, every once in a while speculation looks good and I'm going to do it. But outside of that, when the conditions are clearly not favorable, and I mean, you can apply this to your large accounts too, especially if you have trouble navigating. But it takes this, right? What we're doing right now is how we're going to find these setups. And some of them are going to look okay, but I don't know. After the bell, dude, I'm about to go. You know what? After the fucking bell, I'm about to just go through a bunch of charts. I'm going to go to the gains page and we're going to go scroll back and we're going to go look at all of the charts. And I want you to screenshot them on your phone, print that shit out and put it on a wall. And that's what you're looking for. We're going to go look back. We're going to go look back at the end of the day. I'll spend 25, 30 minutes. Hymns. We'll go through as many as I can get through. All right. Hymns. Floor. Building. Not losing anything. Empty space directly up above. That seems pretty solid. It doesn't have a big build, so maybe a little bit of a longer expiration would be a tactful way to deal with this. There's a floor here that you had to fight for. That's 30.50. That will be your imbalance. 30.50 and 31.22. It's not a bad little setup. It also could have a channel applied to it as well. I don't really like that a lot, if I'm being honest with you, but stay above. Again, you want to know where you want to stay above and where you want to climb. 29.24. What do we have? GLL? What the fuck is this? ProShares Gold?
Hey, Potter. Sorry, I'm
Peter.
driving a semi, but hey man, whenever you have a chance, can you check out what Bros did today? I haven't looked at it.
Hey, Peter. Yeah, I can do that. Real quick on this one, 2 taps off the top. I could imagine this one coming back down for that third sweep. That's likely to be around 21.75, 21.70. I can't say anything. If that's lost, obviously look for the empty space underneath you to get retested, but this isn't quite enough, right? You're just trying to go and reclaim this floor. You might just be working for it. So it's only 3:26, guys. I have plenty of time. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to see, right? If we want this to go up. So this is a formidable level where price has responded quite well. We haven't seen that response, but we also know we have a $47 level directly underneath us that is liable to bounce. So again, with no response, we got to go lower and figure out what it is that you need to recover. This is where it gets disgusting, but it has to be done. Fuck that. I'm not going to do all that. We're going to do this. 49.75. 49.75. So recovery, and then over here to my left, it looks like you're holding that price 40. So, okay, this is the plan. If you're taking this one back up, you need to hold and recover that 48.90 and reach that 49.75. You can punch through that lower time frame box. You can get this thing moving back on the other side or other direction here. It has the kind of empty space above it to potentially do that. ACN to 200. 8 hour empty space is almost filled here to your left. You are approaching the 195.88 overhead resistance. You've got a pretty decent box underneath you. You're breaking out of multiple retest. 4 hour. First candle is green here at 192.50. And that's what you need to get. 192.50 and 195.93 in order to get to 200. Google technically is closing at the floor right now. It is bouncing as we get to the end of the day, but it did lose its floor today. Again, some of the if this was dropping into nothingness, you wouldn't hear any hesitation in my voice. I would just say that looks short. But with this bouncing off of exactly the price that it says it can go to tomorrow, it does lie the potential for us to potentially climb up above 339.50 and fill that empty space back up. So continuation down is reliant on this level in particular dropping, and you still will have structure to break down into. So there's no more empty space on ACN. Did I miss that or something? Yeah, there's some. Do you guys see these pockets though? That's something that would, might lead me into an equity position because, but that's where you're going to get a more difficult journey to the upside. So I just avoid that kind of stuff. But there is empty space up to 250. Guys, if you don't put up or down, I'm not going to be able to take your request or know what you want. YouTube, hop over to TikTok as we get to the end of the day because I'm going to stop the recording so I can re-record. Khalil, I just did that one. Wow, you were at an overhead resistance, fighting for your fucking life. I'm not really going to say that. I mean, this one is building where it should and where it has seen many rejections in the past. I still see the possibility to hit 47.75, and that's really where you're going to see whether price can hold its obvious overhead of 27.06. But for now, the up and the down lie between these boxes, 25.65 and 27.09. GCT up. Trump approval stuck at what is this? Trump approval stuck at record low 33%. Reuters just came out with. Damn. Did you guys did you see that record corporate profits are at a absolute record high, all-time high, while workers' wages are at a now all-time low? And the correlation between the two, it just looks like robbery. It's fucking crazy.
Welcome to the new Gilded Age, baby.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you see that framework that they're doing is from the 50s.
What framework? Okay. Let's see here. The trickle down. Yeah, they trickled down some of their shit. Shit trickle.
I work for small business, so I'm paying the highest wages I've ever paid, and we're not doing great. So
Isn't that crazy, dude?
It's kind of both sides of it. I get what you're saying, but the bottle's broken on both.
Well, it's corporate. It's talking about the big corporations. Yeah, like Kellogg's and Colgate, and these companies also situate themselves always, typically in poor areas, like where the production happens. It's always actually Georgia for a long time was always one of the preferred landing areas for a lot of these businesses because the minimum wage here was $7.25 for the longest time. So you could, as a company, fucking max output, minimum fucking, input, and really make a fucking killing. And the thing is, they'll give people pensions, or not pensions, but like health insurance and all that other stuff. But then after taxes, dude, you ain't getting paid shit. So there's like safety in misery with the way that they set that up. So it's pretty crazy. But no, I resonate with the smaller businesses, and that's what, honestly, it's the customer base that has to move towards the smaller businesses in order to support, you know, really fight back against
and
it.
be okay paying $20 for a sub sandwich.
I
'Cause,
swear, shit, I do it.
that's how we're paying the $18 wages to start.
Yeah,
And
it's
up
like
to
you gotta.
$25,
Each
$30
worker has to sell a sandwich an hour, plus.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. Like, I don't know how much longer this is gonna happen before we start seeing just massive backlash and people just rising up against this.
Honestly, dude, the way that they've done this, and I'll get back to the charts, but it's like the way that they've done this, they've done it so slowly and so methodically that as long as they keep the comforts right in your face. And I mean, I get pissed when people are like, you're getting distracted by Marvel films. Like, no, Marvel films and Marvel comics were always coping mechanisms to deal with the realities that were in. So, but yes, a lot of the times the spectacles, the sports, the everything else, like, can serve as distractions, but it's really the comfort that I think that makes people less, or it's not even the comfort, it's the worry that nobody else is going to rise up with you, that you're going to be standing on a corner with a fucking pitchfork and just get arrested and lose everything you've ever worked for, and your family's gone. So it's like there's risk, and people don't know whether it's worth the risk to reward to try to make something new. But I think that it doesn't have to be a rising up. It needs to be a reclamation of your city, local city governments. That's what needs to happen. Is like, I watch these city hall meetings where people are adamantly telling the people that they voted in, we don't want data centers. The whole county, everybody in here says no. And if the people say no, that's what the representatives are supposed to do. They don't. They do what is in their self interest, and that is fucking treason. Honestly, that should be fucking damn near life sentences. Fuck you. Get the, like, you betrayed the fuck out of people. And that's where our anger should be directed, because once you can get a hold of your city and state, your city, and you can act, whether it's left, right, up, or down, and that doesn't need to be the argument. It needs to be representation. So anyway, I'm not gonna keep ranting, but it is very frustrating, um, because there's still fucking idiots out there fighting about where people are putting their fucking wieners and shit, or whether dudes are wearing makeup and shit. It's like, dude, we can argue about that shit later when we have our goddamn freedoms. Anyway, underneath 48.50 is where price can drop. I don't really see anything spectacular on this chart, except for that it has empty space and a pretty nice little box at the highs. It's 3 bounces off the bottom, so tomorrow would be your only chance to try to get that up, but it kind of looks short to me, dude. Shorty pie. Yeah, all profits should be revoked from politicians. They should be held for, most of them should be held for treason. It it would get nasty. It would get nasty. All right, let's see here. Can I look at SPX
They have to use
sideways?
the same health insurance that we have.
Yeah. Oh my
And they
God,
don't
dude,
get
they'd be
and they don't
fucked.
get paid if they don't balance the budget.
Oh well, then yeah, dude. Warren Buffett had that idea. He's like, whenever the government shuts down, until they figure it out, they don't get paid. It's like, because they'll take fucking recess, dude. They'll take like a break. They get so sleepy trying to figure out how to stop spending money. SP, I don't, dude, you're trapped. Of course you're chopping. You're trapped underneath the top. This is still short in my eyes. Besides the potential of you creating a box, but yeah, dude, you're kind of stuck right now. I'm targeting 4 days of chop to kill my contracts for a max loss. That sounds like a great plan, dude. Go get them. Did I see Walmart going up? Yeah, Walmart looks good up into that 105.27 tomorrow. We'll see where it goes from there. Don't drink the tap water if you don't want to be. Oh, Yeah, I always let the frogs taste it first, and if they get all freaky, dude, I back off, you know.
Bro, I thought I was the only one that did that.
Yeah, I always let the there's a lot of tree frogs all over the front of my house at night, and I'll every once in a while when I rinse the front of my house off, they'll they'll all hop out and they'll just let me spray them with water, dude. They love it. It reminds me of that coconut water song. Yeah, Walmart looks good. I don't know what the hell this is, but looking for equity long. It's got the empty space to do it. 162. I'm not gonna. I mean, typically base them off the monthly, and I'm literally just telling you to trade inside of a box, dude. So I feel irresponsible. Rebound for Uber. Maybe. Mm, maybe. You better do it quickly. You better do it quickly because you are getting into no territory. Did you fall quickly? Yes, you did. Okay. All right. I'm starting to see the plan come together. Yeah, you could. It is very clearly and absolutely over 79 buckaroonies that you can get this thing moving in the right direction. It's not bad, but you need obviously to, it's a step-by-step process, folks. 76, 71. Hot dog water. My uncle loves no territory. Hold on. Scoutmaster Kevin? Wait, is it GII? Am I stupid? Is this apparel group? Damn, boy. What? Help me out here, brother. I have no idea what this is. Ooh, dude, pumpkin spice is back? Let's go. Uh-oh. Me love pumpkin spice.
About to get white girl wasted.
Me too, brother. Ugh.
About to gain 20 pounds.
About to get my apple cinnamon valley girl twisted mocha fucking vibes on, baby. I'm gonna suck in my root chakra and blast off into autumn, baby. All right. I'm trying to say something about this, but it's stuck in between two boxes, dude. And that just won't do. So pick one. Pick 33.45 or bounce off a fucking 31.98. Oh, you're done. Another caffeine in the yeah, I've had way too much caffeine if you haven't noticed. A little bit too much. What's enough, you know? Jeez, did I look at that one? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, what else? It is 341. Come on. You said Pfizer for life-changing gains. You're just trying to you're just trying to you're just trying to fuck, you might be right. First stop is here. That's 30.50. But I see empty space to 40 technically speaking. But that's a journey, baby. That's a Miley Cyrus-esque journey right there. It's the climb. It is, I mean, equity might be a good little deal right there. Maybe some $40 leap-a-roonies to fill that empty space back up there. Obviously, healthcare is, I bet you TTI is probably fucking with this one. It does have a gap up there as well. Boy, you better pick a fucking good expiration. I'm going to say that. But the next signal lies above at 29.75. I put 4K on the 33 calls for what expiration? Give me a signal. Circle, look, stop yelling at me. Stop it. You're being mean, dude. Ooh, I think my massive attack record came in. Yes, that is a good engulfment. I suspect 98.45 shall be your target shortly. All right, I'm going. Going. Are you still short term? No. Everything I put into SoFi is a black hole. So don't ask me about stop losses on SoFi. It'll pay off. This is kind of an ugly box. I ain't gonna lie to you. It does have empty space up there. What the fuck is a HubSpot? Doesn't sound good. Based on previous evidence. Above 266. I mean, what else can I say? You're above everything you need to be above 253, 57. So get outside. Get up in there. 278.35 is another target. I already did I did not grab any calls on Neo yet. Deer. Brother, what? Oh, wait. You talking about John Deere? That's DE, brother. I haven't looked at John Deere in a long time. That was, where's Coors at? Where's my boy Coors at? My little cooler. He's not in here. No. He's probably somewhere out in the world. That dude's been on vacation for 2 years straight. He's one of the first independent traders to come out of the Discord. Officially. Is the climb. I don't really see anything majorly attractive about this one, except for its potential to maybe go into all-time highs. Stay above 638.65. But other than that, break the highs. Is it worthwhile to try and learn if I'm not really available the first 2 hours of market open? I mean, do you not want to know how to navigate the market for the foreseeable future? You know what I mean? So like whether it's equity or whether it's swinging options or whether you decide to trade after later in the afternoon, to be able, you can still make good decisions, at the end of the day. And with a longer expiration, if you know you're nearing your target, you might have to compromise, but yeah, I think it's worth it to learn. I even if I was busy, because think about it. Think about it this way. Let's say you hurt your fucking knee, right? You pull a junior, and you get T-boned or something like that, and then you got a week or two off of work. If you've already been studying this, might not be a bad time to pop there. Have I done PLTR? Yeah, I actually have a contract. I'm gonna swing into tomorrow up to 192, 193. I'm gonna try to, but I have a something in my gut is telling me it's gonna come back and retest. It's above where it needs to be, but just can't seem to make it high. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I think it's extremely important to learn this strategy. Even if you don't follow me or or want to join the Discord, if you don't even care about options, I think it's just some people have even used this to look at interest rates to buy their house, trying to find a dip.
Hey, P, I have a question.
Yeah, what's going on, boss?
Hey, that Nunya play from a few months back, was that like the highest single play in the Discord?
Amount of money?
Yeah.
If that was legit, yeah. Well, no, that is not the most. I take that back. We have most of the people who are inside of this Discord that have more than $1 million typically never say a word, which you'll find intelligent rich people do, right? They don't really talk about or flaunt these type of things. Once you get to a certain level of cash, it just becomes a big sign saying, message me. But I know for a fact that we've had a $1.2 million gain on a single trade, on a cancer research trade. And then I'm quite certain that when Manny was in here, we had somebody make a around $900,000 on a Tesla play on options. So it's not the highest, but it's definitely up there.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, once you hit a certain money mark, you realize that telling people about how much money you have doesn't do you any good. It actually just people just unfortunately want something from you, you know. So the more money you flaunt in front of people's face, what the fuck else are people gonna want, you know? But that's actually some of the most intelligent piece of advice that I have ever got in my life was and I even though I got the advice, I decided not to listen, and then I learned the hard way. Losing all my friends. Three. Telling you what, Google doesn't look bad. The only thing I want from you, Mr. P, is your brain. Hold on, what you mean by that?
Whoa.
I hit the money market soon. I need to hit that money market soon. Wait, what are you talking about? It's what the fuck? All right, it is 350, folks. My Starbucks straw has a crack in it. That's because you're drinking from Starbucks, brother. Why does my trading view chart look different from yours on the same time frame? Because you don't have all your data there, Poppy. Hey, I have to say, I've been watching your AMD. You're awesome, but PLTR, you have to conquer. Been so missing. Wait, what? I'm not sure I interpreted that one correctly, but if you're asking for PLTR, it still has that empty space up above it, and it still hasn't lost any ground. However, it is struggling against the overhead market, and tomorrow is going to be a very important day to maintain price above that 186, because if it fails, you might be looking at a dumper. Yep. PM. I have not. There hardly anything looks amazing to me. No. So this is one of those days I lie in wait. But 350 is rolling around, and the only thing that really is, SPY is interesting, but only because it's bouncing and retesting as we get into the end of the day. But nope. You got to punch back over 56.25. Take that. Google, what the fuck? What do you mean, what the fuck? Did we not? We talked about this, didn't we? Yeah, we just talked about it. Google had a higher probability to bounce first, but it's these big pops, right, that tell you, look what you're trying to recover. This is good, especially if you're a seller, right? You want this to happen because you want that empty space to fill up rapidly or even gap up and then gap fill down. I'm late. Do we have a watch list? Nope. Watch list is ass. Unless you're looking at one of the, some of the earnings look pretty interesting, but imagine that, guys. Imagine that every, couple of weeks or, that's there's not going to be hardly anything. And I posted something today because, I get people who will be like, well, you missed Tesla. Or you missed,
It's looking angry at the top.
probably. But people will tell me I missed things. And if it does not look like something I would trade, then I didn't miss it. The market doesn't have to move out of boxes, right? But when institutions are in control and I can see it, that's what I want a piece of, right? And I find that's where you're disciplined. You're not disciplined because if you're just willing to take anything. I mean, if you go and you do your lower time frame stuff and you've done your homework, like that's all good. But if the 24-hour, for me, especially knowing that so many people, so many eyes are on me, you know, for what I do, but it's also just like, it's important for me to show you guys, right? The reliability that comes with a great setup. And some weeks you guys can see it. We just came off of a stupid fire week. And it happens just like this. 2 or 3 weeks of fire, and then we get into this sludgy bullshit, and this is where most people lose. And I feel that it's trying to take things that don't fit that same criteria. That's why after the bell, guys, I want to, if you guys will hang around, those of you guys on TikTok, um, you know, I want to go through what goods chart setups look like. I want you guys to see, especially those of you who are newer viewers, I want you guys to see how we've been able to catch it. And again, those of you who have been in here for months, years, you're working your way, you got it. If you're day trading and you're doing that kind of stuff, that's great, right? You've earned the right to do that. What's up, sweetie? What are you doing? Hi, baby. Come here. Give me a hug real quick. I only have a couple minutes. John Cena doesn't play basketball. Hey, I told you about keeping your face off the camera. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Hey, go change and get into a comfy outfit, okay? Love you.
Hey, Potter, did you happen to look at GitLab? They've got earnings Wednesday.
I did, man. I didn't see anything attractive. I mean, yeah. There's just no empty space. I see 69. I think that's what I said. If this thing has something, I'm just not seeing the empty space that I like. But if this thing moves on earnings, then
With that, would you consider that a punchback into that box right there?
yeah, yeah. The box is a little yucky, and when I zoom in, it's more right here. And that's what you're approaching. So I mean, it could work out, man. I just, again, this goes back to like, what is this? Nothing that I want to trade in. So again, preference. I encourage you guys to explore these things, but Jesus
Cool,
Christ,
thanks.
stop it.
Sorry, I missed it. Sorry about
No,
that.
you're all right. You're all right. You're all right. 355.
Just peek it for me. Por favor.
Yeah, my daughter's decided. I try to keep my kids off the internet. All right, Apple to 322. Some fucking weirdos out there, you know. Unfortunately. You got the candle on the 24-hour doesn't really scream anything other than you have not lost. Yeah, so this is actually what we talked about earlier today, coming back down, retesting the volume underneath you, and then that is going to be where we determine direction. Now, Apple can be added to your watch list. Rogue, I'm trying to add things to. Oh, let's go. New album, Massive Attack, Mezzanine. Oui.
So
Better watch your homework. Rogue, stop yelling at me. Good God. All right. Anyway, this can be added to your watch list. It is bouncing off of the thing that would pull it lower. It has not triggered its official candle close higher, but that now becomes a real possibility. How? Why? Because you responded by bouncing off of the structure underneath you, which would allow for price to go and break over those levels again and move into empty space. Now, Apple has been moving sideways in one hell of a crunchy way, so I think that move would be quite welcomed. But don't get trapped in here, all right? Don't get fucking trapped. All right.
Hey, Papa, did you miss MU? I just joined again.
Oh shit! Fuck! Wait, hold on. Whoa. What do I have? 3. Okay. Oof. No way. When did that start ripping? Fuck off. Fuck off, dude. I was holding fucking 970s.
You waited till the end of the day.
Damn.
You got out of those, or you still have them?
They were for today. I was trying to keep it mad low risk. No, I took it. But I just, yeah. Power Hour screwed me again. Power Hour is a fucking myth, dude. Power Hour at the end of the day is a fucking, that shit hardly ever happens. The open is the high volume, and then a lot of the times, you know, if you rip at the end of the day, you'll see small sell-offs and then, you know, chop, but a lot of the times it's just chop at the end of the day. But it is the last day of the month, by the way. So they are changing candles. Fucking you. Sick bastard. Damn. Oh well. That was a good ass box and everything. Lower time frame punchback. Check that out, guys. Look at that beautiful fucking punchback. Look, no box. Tap tap. Pop up. Build the box. Pull back. Punch back. Guaranteed new high. Fucking diabolical. All right. I think we're gonna go on that one. Last minute here. Again, I'm gonna go over some charts as we get into the end, or now that we're getting to the end of the stream here. I want to go back and go look at some of these winning trades that we took so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're looking for. Damn. MU does look also pretty good on the 24-hour. Maybe keep an eye on that one tomorrow. Still has quite a bit of overhead resistance, but breaking that here and then breaking this here, you have a potential, right? And that could have really helped the market out right now while it's getting beaten up. But that's 1135. Yeah, Roblox looks fine. Do I use after hours data? Yes, I do. EOD volume is just market day traders closing trades. They can buy positions right back after EOD. Yeah, I mean, they can. I typically look for how candles close at the end of the day because it gives me an idea of how buyers are moving or how volume is moving. No way. Fucking Cade sent me a fucking invite to his goddamn Discord. He did not realize. Why did he send it to? Oh, he didn't realize I was in the chat with Marzel. Look at this fucking idiot. Cade, are you fucking out there, you idiot? The fuck are you doing, dude? What a crybaby, dude. No way.
Are you sharing your screen?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my phone. I clicked on his link to join his Discord because I want to see what he's got going on since he keeps fucking inviting people. No calls for violence against people with different political beliefs. Shut the fuck up, you crybaby bitch. Sorry, excuse my language, guys. I apologize, but Cade is such a baby, dude. Come on, nut up. And there's 4 people in his Discord. Okay. 30 people. Never mind. Cade is if you didn't know, Cade is a member that was I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this. He was somebody who was inside of the Discord constantly calling for attention, constantly opening his mic up, constantly trying to one up other people, constantly trying to just be the center of fucking attention, which as I say, as I am the center of the attention, but not because I am shouting and screaming or telling fake stories. But anyway, this all led to I didn't really like him, and I mostly didn't respect him for the way that he treated his children or talked about them. I thought that was a pretty piece of shit thing. So anyway, I can deal with not liking somebody, and I'm not here to tell people how to be a parent. But I voiced my opinion on the state of the world and my political affiliations, not even affiliations, but just where I stood with what's going on in the world right now. And calling for a little bit of kindness and compassion where there is calls for violence and exile. Um, and he led this all led to him getting very upset, and this was a catalyst for him to start his own Discord, where he apparently built an AI bot that convinced him that he had a earth-shattering, stock market breaking AI algorithm. Which, if you don't know about AI psychosis, that is also a real thing where AI will convince you that what you are thinking is real, even when if it's not. If you haven't seen that, shit's crazy. It's actually a real thing. But anyway, just crying all the time. And it was so funny because they were the two of the rudest people, um, and said some of the most like obscene, and I say weird shit, but like obscene shit. And they would like offend other people, especially some of the ladies, and then would bitch themselves when Blue or Golfman opened their mic to ask questions, which is what I designed the fucking Discord for. So I ended up like announcing pretty loudly that if anybody had a problem with me answering new people unmuting their mic, like if I don't say something about it, then there's no problem with it. And if you don't like it, you just got to suck it up for the strategy, right? It's all about the strategy. That's all you're here to do is learn this fucking strategy. And then you may not like the environment that you may not like me, but this strategy fucking works. And if you really want to fucking win, you know it shouldn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's just the whole inviting people, starting your whole Discord. Yeah, you know what? That's the fucking funniest thing is Blue and his Golfman fucking eating independent trading, making fucking good decisions, dude. And it's like all of that answering questions. That was actually one of their biggest. Yeah, he was different. Are these prescription glasses? Yes, they are. Is he using your strat on his Discord? I'm not sure, dude, because the charts that Cade would constantly drop in my chat were not adherent to my strategy. And Tiger never once in the fucking 5 years of him telling, 2 years, I don't know, felt like forever. But in all the years of him telling me to look at that stock, never once did it look good to me. In fact, you probably, if you go look back at the times in which he did ask, it was always these random dumbass, stupid stocks, and every once in a while they could hit. But a lot of the
Was it Tiger Foods or some shit?
no, it was like some technology company, but
Tyson Foods, bro.
yeah.
Dude, why is he trying to recruit all the Mexicans, bro?
Is they send him all to the? Oh my god, damn! Old habits die hard with that one, huh? Fucking crazy. I don't know why he just sent it to me. I'm looking inside of it right now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently they're scanning for shit like that.
Yo,
You just hopped in the Discord?
who's this, bro? I don't know. Is this Neil?
No, that's Kima,
Oh, what up, Kimo?
To the moon, Poppy.
isn't it?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
I've
is.
heard you in a while.
Nah, dude, I've been busy in the morning with the kids, and then my girl, she got some house shit that she got to take care of, so I've been helping her with that. So I've been kind of busy. So I just try to hop on when I can right now until she's good.
Yeah, man. Well, it's good to hear from you, and I hope she gets better.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Just trying to stay positive, but yeah, she just got some blood work done, so she just has to take some fucking medication and shit. What's up with you, man? How's everything with you? How you doing?
You know, just on live and working, man. That's it.
Get this fucking bro
What's
made
up,
it.
bro?
Bro made a fucking trading section.
Dude, Potter, can you share your screen so I can see, bro? Because I don't want to. I didn't want to join it, bro. Because I feel like that was just
Nah,
disrespectful.
nah, dude. Join that shit. Pull your nuts out.
Fuck no,
You
dude.
gotta pull them nuts out, dude.
Bro.
Fuck that. I'm in his shit right now.
I
I'm
don't
all
wanna
up in
do
his
it.
shit.
Potter, I'm cool, bro.
I'm digging around in there and everything, dude.
Yeah, you're in it. You go fuck around. Go talk hella shit. I'm good. I don't want to go in there.
Nah, look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look where is it at? Yeah, he has the Punchback Trading School, but it's fucking empty.
What the fuck?
It's all empty.
You're still a failure.
Why is Ivy the main lady in there, bro?
Ivy, where?
Ivy,
I don't see Ivy in there.
Allie. I'm just fucking nervous.
Oh god,
You're
dude.
like, what?
GEX. I don't trade this shit, dude. Also, this is what a Georgina Inter. This is in London, dork. What the fuck? You got the wrong one, dude. Yeah, I don't have fucking. Yeah, TikTok. You guys can't see it. It's some dude's Discord. He's got the Punchback Trading School with nothing in it. Share your chart. Looks like only one person is trading in there. Junk talk. There's nothing going on in here. Just one person talking to themselves. Oh, trash. How about that?
You know what they say, one's company, two's crowd.
What the fuck? People are posting their gains in his.
I didn't see any gains.
Hey,
Where's
this
the
is
gains at?
yours, right?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
this
this
is ours. Yeah, this is yeah.
fuck?
You ain't gonna see nothing like that. Let me see. I was just gonna see what we had today. All right, a little Nvidia trade, little Tesla call. Okay, about what I expected today, since it was a light day. Did everybody say safe? That's really what I want to know. Yo, what the fuck is going on? Every time I open up live trading, dude, I swear to God. How about that, man? Someone says you should patent your strategy. Nah, I don't give a fuck. I already have something in place for that, but I have protective measures. Who's Potter's pig? That's my pig. That's my little oinker. All right. 212 people here. TikTok, Discord, stick around. We're about to do some shit. So 1 second. To the games page to find blueprint setups for you to follow. I hate when I do that. Strictly halal. Elmo Potter, no pork on my fork. Am I recording this? I am going to. Ooh. Ooh. Fuck that even come from, dude? Who started that shit?
If I'm not wrong, I think it's
Wow.
Started who?
anime.
I mean, yeah, I figured that. She's kind of gross. No, I joined this Cade dude's Discord, by the way. I joined this Cade. All right, good luck. Get in there. Find it fair. Do you trade every day? No, I do not trade every day. I trade when there's great setups because that's how you make great money. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at literally I'm looking in the gains page right now and I'm just looking at and we're gonna really quickly do this. So if it doesn't look right, now this was a earnings play, right? We talked about this one. Good empty space. We had the candles building right underneath that overhead resistance. So going into earnings with empty space, this was a really good setup, right? So for an earnings trade on a company that typically does move, this is definitely something, again, don't overcomplicate it. We have, there is also more to this, right? You got to think about what the stock's been able to do, recover floors, move back over previous resistances. And with this being the only thing in front of you, it makes price moving that much easier. So that was one of the earnings trades that we took. That was, again, I'm just starting with last week. What the hell? And then the next one, god damn, that's a lot of CRM gains. We had ANF. I don't even have a Discord, guys. Not you, Cade. Poor guy. Not you, dude. Not you. This is when it's important to show up. Now, this one is not super typical, right? But it is not a bad setup at all. There's no arguing this at all. It is all that it had. And again, you got to think about we don't always have the opportunity to know when news is going to come. And earnings is the exception. So if we know earnings is going to come and we have and we have price settling above levels that it previously was held down underneath with empty space directly up in front of it, a punchback, and more empty space. And obviously we just knocked this one out of the park, but this is empty, catalyst, good setup, right? And the risk to reward was extremely favorable. So that was an amazing trade. Let's see here. Payouts, very good. All right, let's look at Dick's Sporting Goods. Another earnings trade that we took. Now this one's not going to be, again, it is kind of going, we had a bunch of different other factors. We talked about the stores and the lack of volume, but there is actually some really technical levels here that could be, or rather not could be, but are very, very important. One of the things you don't want to do at the highs is you do not want to sink underneath boxes or structure that you had previously broken out of. So going into earnings, we had already punched down and retested the previous weeks going into earnings with nothing but empty space underneath us, right? And I will say, we were aiming for maybe 162 with the chance of potentially 140 if it dumped really, really hard. And this, of course, heavy at the highs, right? Imagine climbing a mountain and they keep sending supplies up, but it's not enough. You keep going up and your back gets heavier and heavier and you still can't make that fucking climb. Eventually you're going to get top heavy and you got to come back down. So, all right. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. If you guys are on Discord, I'm trying to move quickly so we don't get hung up. Now Celsius definitely still gets a spot on this real recap list. And today, if you guys were able to short that one like we talked about, you should be in profits tomorrow. I'm thinking that target's going to get hit underneath us. But regardless of that, this is still a really good setup, right? Reclaiming a floor like this, especially after price breaks down, loses it, and then reclaims it. This is a very simple setup. Now, it's unusual, right? And we can come to that conclusion because of its empty space here, right? We knew that just reclaiming this floor and getting over 31 would allow for price to move up to that 33 and potentially to 35, which was and is the cost basis up above. So this one's still valid, and lower time frame empty space in previous box allowed for this one to finish that play up. So Would I recommend shorting it now? No, I would not recommend shorting it now. I would let that. I would prefer to see how it bounces. Preferably, that would, yeah, I would prefer to see how it bounces. Pause. All right, let's see here. We're going to start getting into some juicier setups here. I'm looking back at some of these huge gains. It looks like this one was a 300% gain on, yeah, the 21st. So I didn't take this trade, but I can see why that individual did. I think that was Tennessee. So here's your box right there. You have an overhead resistance right here. Price opens up outside of it, 35.22, and you pop. Obviously, this is also sponsored by its ability to break through the 50% mark and make its way through that box. So another decent, clear. I shouldn't have to explain this one anymore, right? It's typically, especially on these quicker plays, if you want this play to happen sooner, it needs to have less resistances in front of it. This one only had one, which makes your job that much easier. All right, let's keep it moving here. What is this? All right, we'll go over mRNA, but I feel like have I ever just full ported a trade? Not with $80,000, no. I have with, the small account and shit like that. I don't, if it's, $500, $600, something like that. I don't mind doing something like that, but no, I don't, especially if you're in an area where you need that cash to hang out. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm going to go over this setup because while it is an anomaly, everything about it was structurally sound. So just to recap this trade on mRNA, and again, you can go watch this back on YouTube before the rip, before the crazy squeeze out. We were able to catch this one, and it starts with that same formula. We have a really nice box with 3 or more wicks overhead, a candle close on the outside or up against that overhead resistance, price moving into the empty space up above. We had a target of just right here at 73.16, but of course price moving through this with news was able to fill up all of this empty space and more, ending up all the way into the 170s. And if you notice, this is also empty, and that is where price stopped. So, all right, keep it moving here, guys. I want to find some more. Tesla 1000% trade. That's okay. Walmart puts are worth a gander. Now, this one I'm not going to say is anything other than, we had a straddle set up on this one. And honestly, obviously, we're looking at this one potentially going back up. But this one was just simply going into earnings, right? Inside of a box, having just recently broken out of one, right? With just one, not super formidable, but pretty heavy overhead resistance at 116.50. Going into earnings, folks, you can take both sides on this trade, 130 out of the money, but we also knew that if price was unable to make that high, that it was highly probable that it would sink to 107. We took 107 contracts. That ended up being a massive trade to the downside. Let's talk about iBit. This was also another really great setup with empty space and consolidation directly up in front of you. So you guys should be seeing, right, as I go through this, you should be seeing repetitiously similar setups, right? Earnings maybe being the exception, but we should be seeing the same thing across the fucking board. And in this example, it's honestly perfect because it's literally box to box. You pop out here, you have 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3. And even if you measure this down even further, you had multiple signs that price was going to escape, right? Starting with the lower time frame box here at 3706. But this is also, and again, I'm just going over these setups, reviewing those points of entry and how price moves so you guys can see for yourself, right? Why we want to be trading in these pockets. All right. Silver is still, obviously with a little bit of a decline now, but this is also a decent setup, or was a decent setup. Had pretty decent empty space again with silver. We understand that price is going to grind. But you know, even if you look at this, folks, right? You have kind of an inverse head and shoulders look, but you have empty space up here, and you have an area of consolidation that, again, you lost a floor over to your left. Price breaks down, finds its equilibrium, settles on that floor, and consolidates. That's where you mark that overhead high. You want that? You want this? So you would have to come on camera to get it, wouldn't you? Am I showing everybody this? Oh no, what's going to happen? You have to look. Anakin came on camera. Show him a chain, bro. Show him the chain. He tried to attack a guest today. He tried to attack one of our guests. Okay, get your at. Can you explain how to determine if a stock will continue to go up after it breaks out of the box? There is going to be a lack of overhead resistance. And again, it also matters. Like, think about the story, right? This isn't just something that's being moved by somebody. Like, there's a story happening. So when price loses a floor after this period of consolidation, it's pretty important, right? When it reclaims it. But not only that, that same overhead resistance, right? If that breaks, that means that sellers are not doing their job. The market is between buyers and sellers. Both of them have a job to do. Inside of the box, they mud wrestle. When price closes outside of one side or the other, that is typically where you look at the first overhead resistance. That would have been 56.60. You hit it. Price goes red for 1 day, but does not lose anything. Price is then able to continue moving up into that empty space. Steven, why are you yelling at me right now? Oh my God. I don't know, man. I don't know what you want to say to that person. I mean, you need to tell them straight up, you know, you can't do that. But, you know, if you're willing to help, man, I mean, that's always fire. You know, that's always that'd be a kind thing to do, but you're not obligated to do that. All right, let's see here. Try to scroll past some of these earnings trades and get back. Microsoft on the 19th. $8.19. That can't be right. Man, what the fuck? They scalped the tiniest move in the world. All right, let's see here. Yeah, you guys are free to ask any questions. That if you are on TikTok or I'm scrolling past, there's so many gains from this trade on mRNA. I just make it past all of them. Okay, so she took puts on this one. This one makes a lot of sense, obviously, with just a floor lost here and a rejection of that overhead volume. Again, I'm just going over the setup and empty space underneath you. It made sense, or does make sense. She looks like she nailed a 800% trade to the downside on that one. Trying to move up here. Why are there so many gains? Use Meta. NVIDIA, August 5th. Is that August? What was that posted? That was on the 5th. These aren't all mine now. Okay, they were just playing continuation up into that 222. That one's not worth going over. That was just runners. mRNA hit again? No. Would I get updated workshop if I buy soon if the new one comes out? Yes. If you didn't have your community to help you find stocks, how would you go about finding your own plays? I would sift through the stocks that have the highest trading volume. Or carry the highest trading volume. I'd look at the highest market caps. I'd probably use FinViz to find stocks that are at recent 52-week lows. Yeah. That's what I would do. That Voss dude keeps showing up on my profile. Yeah, that guy's awful, man. He's awful. Yeah, Nvidia. Okay, so this was a good trade. This one was on like the 3rd and the 5th. So yeah, this is a pretty good setup here, folks. You had a punchback right here on the 8-hour, 4-hour time frame. Quick retest. And again, guys, do you see how price moves through this empty space? You hit the imbalance, 50%, and the floor, come back, retest, and then break and fill all of that empty space. So that's another really good one. Appreciate your answer. Go to this. Just yeah, no problem, dude. And that was a 2,400% trade there. IWM.
Is that shit still dumping?
What is?
IWM.
I haven't checked it. No, it's just been sitting. Made most of its moves overnight.
That was a good swing, bro.
Yeah, it was good. Let's see. Apple on the 4th. That's right, little lower time frame play. That's right. We did nail that one. That's right. So this one was actually mostly lower time frame, but this actually came from a remaining amount of empty space over here to your left and a punchback, right, through that 310.55. And this one ended up screaming up and hitting that 318.85. So again, another really good setup, but mostly on that lower time frame. Okay, let's see here. We're trading the Qs and NVIDIA at this point. We're now at the beginning of August, which was a little slow. Yep, and then we traded. So yeah, we did trade that Meta out of this box. That's right. Yep. This is. That's right. You guys traded this one out of this into empty space. Same deal, same setup. The only difference is you did not have that grade of consolidation. So this was a play-by-play, but you gapped up, built a box, and punched back and filled that empty space. Again, look at how price moves through that empty space. That's what I'm trying to hopefully point out to you. NVIDIA as well on the 3rd. We already covered that one. I have never seen any profit like this in my entire lifetime. That's crazy. And it's cool to see how many people eat off of the same fucking plate. LTR 28th. Potter, I want to learn this so bad. Why not? But why haven't you started? Or have you started? Oh, that's right. So this was another trade that was taken for looks like 500%. And this is a punchback inside of the Discord. This was taken punchback outside and over. Oh, this was an earnings trade too. After earnings? Yeah, it was after earnings. But yeah, this one was also taken up to 160 for about 400%. So many of people have taken, a lot of people were trading the Qs at the beginning of the month. Look at that SPY, IWM, all 400,000 percenters, 150%, 566%. Do you trade indexes and what time frames do you use? I trade, yeah, I trade, I mean, I trade SPY, you know, I trade commodities, silver, gold. I do it mostly through options though. I don't trade futures and stuff like that very often. Let's see. This is another play that we took on the 17th. How is that possible? Oh, that's here. Yeah, so this is another really good trade that we took. And this goes back to the box and empty space, folks. Take a look at right here. All right, not a perfect box, right? So you could, if you wanted to, you could focus right here. But you have great empty space in this part right here. And this is a trade. This was one of our, I mean, this trade was fucking amazing. But price ended up wicking the lows, 1, 2, 3 at the top. This one ended up breaking up and going straight into that empty space at 670. So again, focusing on empty space. Yeah, that was huge. That was a huge trade.
Did you guys do,
Hey.
did you do CRM?
Yeah, I did that one. PayPal. PayPal was, I mean, this, honestly, guys, we took this one twice. And I mean, it couldn't get more perfect. You had a beautiful box, beautiful base. Price ended up escaping up into that empty space at 52, pulled back, built a box. Same thing. And so with that empty space left behind, we had a lower time. Ah, dude, he is a little teenager. Anyway, you had this little lower time frame box. We were expecting price to go to $50 and maybe punch back to get 56. This news literally came out and shot us up into that empty space. So again, empty space, consolidation, levels being broken, everything is clear. Fire. I think right around the same time, Hood was also another one that was being taken. Which I don't really know how the fuck y'all took this one. I'll be honest with you. Oh, puts. No shit. Oh, that's right. You guys did short that one. I did not short that one, but I know that I know yeah, 300% on that trade. And that was just simple 1, 2, 3 rejections, loss of the floor. We also talked about that channel falling out. That's fire. Why is a summary in Russian? I don't know, dude. I really don't. All right, what else? Shoot me another DM, Romeo. If it guys, if you ever DM me and I don't get back to you, I don't mind if you like ping it again. You're not pestering me. I have thousands of DMs. So like if you just relight that notification, it's not gonna it's not gonna hurt. I'm not gonna get pissed off. Damn. All right. So I think if meta is bearish, it kind of looks that way, but it doesn't. It's not really clear right now, man. It does kind of have, with all that selling overhead, yeah, it does have more of a bearish appeal at the moment, but more importantly, you're struggling to get hold of that floor. So why don't I chart SPX? I do, but it's just stuck in a range, man. It's not of interest to me when it's like this, you know. It could be good here very shortly, but it's between this and the 150 floor. Oh shit. Yeah, we did. I looked at pizza. It's on YouTube if you want to check that one out. Yeah, I did that one. What are you doing back there, Anakin? Brother, what do you want? Cat treat? You dropped it, you fool. There you go. On the weekly it looks better, but you fucking 3178. Yeah, pizza's on the prep video too. Any stock setup I like? Nah, man. Unfortunately not, my friends. But you know what? I look at this as a gift. I look at this as like a real break. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to trade. Trading is tough and exhausting and mentally frying sometimes. You know? So to get a good look fucking break in there, dude. I want to try this mask on. I'll be on tomorrow morning, but I gotta head out sooner. You know? I can't stay around too long. Just because I feel, I mean, like, even me today, like, taking MU, like, the fuck was the point of that? Even though I only bought one contract, it was still trash.
One contract? You never buy one contract.
Hold on a second, I
My
can't.
little Corey.
What's up, bro?
What's up,
That's
Papa?
not gonna work. It is sick, isn't it? Needs to be, like, right there. That shit is not comfortable, though, boy. Oh, my God. You all
Yogi,
lives.
did you ever
What's up?
catch the
Trade.
extended look or whatever it's called for GTA 6?
I did, yeah. I did. That was crazy. That shit fucking looks way too. It's so real, and I noticed like the gunshot wounds are real and like screaming. I was like, holy shit.
Bro, we're gonna be up all night playing that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys know in advance. How long? Isn't it coming out in
When it
September?
comes out?
Yeah, September.
November 19th.
September, October, November. Yeah, we're
Just
probably
remember, y'all, that the online version, multiplayer version, doesn't come out until months after the regular.
What?
That's how it's worked forever.
Yeah.
If you're a
5.
real GTA player, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. I didn't know that.
I think 5 was only like 2 weeks, but they haven't even mentioned it with 6. So I don't.
how do
know
you
what's going
start a
on.
server? I want to start. Fuck that, dude. I'm about to make money off of this shit. I'm a fucking. I want to make my own servers, dude.
There's
People.
a Rainbet casino. You can make real money.
I can't wait till someone mods GTA 6 into being VR compatible. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be crazy to look at.
Yeah, dude. Large servers attract sponsorments and real world advertisements. 50K a month. Some of these fuckers are making. Yeah, boy, I'm about to have a server.
50K a month, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, some of these dudes
For
running
having
these
a
servers.
server?
Bro, listen, there are
That's
people running Fortnite servers that sell that there's a brain rot one that comes to mind. And the whole concept is you have to it's so fucking stupid. You run on a treadmill to get stronger, to kick the ball further. The further you kick the ball, the rarer the brain rot you get, which is worth more money, which will generate more money for your brain rot clubhouse. Makes no sense. But they sell one of those fucking things for $20, and there's millions of kids on this fucking server. You know what I mean? So it's
dude.
crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. You're be making money off of that, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had seen too. I guess the highest player count for GTA Online was their role playing. It's blown up.
Yeah, dude. They have fucking Savannah PD role play, where it's people role play Savannah and the game, which is just shooting each other. But
Is that what everybody does now? That they're pretending to be cops? That's a GTA shit, bro. GTA 5, where they're
yeah, bro. When life gets tough, dude, people make second lives. It's like Dwight's second life.
dude, bro, that's crazy.
People thought it was going to be the same for VR too, but it is. But that's unfortunate. That's kind of the bottom bucket of people online.
Yeah, I think we have a ways to go before that really starts becoming mainstream.
What, VR?
Yeah, I think it's because we had the VR wave before, back when you're strapping your phone into a freaking headset. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
died for years and then came back. So I think it's just gonna do that again eventually when we have better technology.
Yeah, because you play the games now, and I mean, some of them are really fun. There's a lot that I think I remember you playing when we just beat the shit out of fucking avatars or sword fight them and stuff. You have magical powers or wizardry shit, whatever. But yeah, you can download mods. That stuff is fun, but it gets old really fast. And then right now they have I think it's called Ghost of Tabor, and they it's like Battlefield. So I mean it's really extensive, but the graphics suck. You know what I mean? So it's until we can, fit supercomputers in front of our faces in small, cigarette-sized boxes, become an individual.
DLSS 5 will be a factor when it comes to that. So you don't have to use as much hardware, but you can get just crazy graphics with it.
Yeah. I mean, AO was asking me today or the other day. He was like, how far do you think the graphics will go? GoPro is squeezing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of filled up that empty space just now. That thing needs a miracle. Can't really say anything positive about the setup other than, bouncing off the floor. I don't really see anything else.
Bro, I had that. You got a Phil's coffee or a Pete's coffee by you, Potter?
No. That's a more West Coast thing, I think.
Oh, they don't have none out there. Okay, never
Hey
mind.
Potter, I have a quick question.
Yo, so
So I was charting, and I noticed that the extended trading hours, there's a on IBIT, right? There's a extended trading hours gap, but on the 24-hour trading hours things, there is no gap. Are you using the 24-hour or are you using the ETH?
on the Mag 7, I use the 24-hour. And then on, yeah,
Can you
because,
repeat that? Sorry.
well, that's when it, like, the Mag 7 and the ETFs, like, I try to use the 24-hour with extended. But then on, like, everything else, that doesn't seem as applicable, you know. But yeah, I think that the price gaps that are left behind are still valid if you're using the extended hours. I don't think anything has changed. However, that's crazy. Um, these candles, or excuse me, these time frames differ depending on the stock. If it's a gap on extended hours, it's typically going to be the lowest volume on extended 24-hour time frame. So higher volume stock, Mag 7, overnight trader, like that one typically gets the, I'll include that data. But empty space is typically interpreted as a gap on the extended. So it's tomato.
Okay, so you can kind of use either or.
Yeah.
I was just worried about it because IBIT has that gap, and you know, at the end of gaps, that's when we predict a rejection.
You said do what?
As you know, like when you're playing a gap.
Oh, that's right.
Rejection. So
Yeah.
I saw that. I got a little like.
If the gap is in alignment with structure, then you can expect a rejection. If it's not, and it's just a gap, you know, then you can still look for it to fill that gap. It's still going to respond, but I got a health warning on TikTok. Yeah, that's because I exhaled smoke.
Hey, what happened with that, Potter? Is your TikTok okay?
Yeah, that consuming substances featured in this live could harm your health. Where's the glue? I'm gonna sniff it. No, that is from people who hate my guts. If you see me get banned for frauds and scams, that's only something that can get reported. That's not AI. Usually it's like regular, like goods, like, you know, if they see smoke, yeah, they're gonna put a health thing on there. But
It's unbanned now?
yeah, I got it unbanned pretty quickly. I think TikTok's fucking used to this shit by now, because I swear to God, I'll do it and it'll be like 2 or 3 hours.
I've been seeing a lot of traders' accounts get banned and stuff though. Like even that, I tried doing it, and I'm gonna try again, but just my account got completely shadow banned within 3 weeks. The
Oh, I
second
don't know
I
if you
got a video
guys,
that had a few thousand views, boom, shadow banned.
they just changed something, dude. Either that or I've just fucked up. Okay. But look at my. Come on. Did I just freeze my computer? Oh shit. Can you guys hear me? That shit just froze my goddamn computer. What the fuck?
We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Yeah, that just. I did not like that. Try that again.
So excited for my PC, bro.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, how many people in this Discord? You know what? There are so many people now who have the exact same setup as I do. I mean, identical. Which I am flattered, but also the setups look badass, so it's cool.
Bro, I got a quote from Clutch. I took all the parts they gave me, went to a local builder, and got it like $480 cheaper.
Yeah, that's the upcharge. Yeah, I was trying to show you guys. I'm getting getting banned. Hold on a second. Ooh. Oh. This is about to get really trippy. Watch, it's gonna keep going in an infinite line. Look, this is me reacting to this reaction.
You're gonna crash your computer again.
I am gonna crash my fucking computer, dude. What the fuck? I'm trying to figure out how to get back to my profile. There it is. Yeah, dude, look at this shit. Look, they just hit me with this the other day. Watch the views. 164, 103, 116, 78. And then look. 4,000, 9,000, 12,000, 6,000, or 3,600, 3,000, you know. So I mean, like a pretty regular amount of views, and then all of a sudden, this one, or that one.
Getting shadow banned, and they remove your videos from the For You page, so it only goes to your followers. That's what happened with my account that I was trying to do.
Yep. Sucks.
Your YouTube is doing good though. You get views on YouTube, right?
Yeah, my YouTube and my Instagram actually. My Instagram has been popping the fuck off. I'm gonna do that off screen. Who knows? Wee wee.
Did you already go over to Google?
Yeah, I did. That's on YouTube. What the fuck? Yeah, I just hit 10,000 followers on this one. It's been hardest social media to grow. But yeah, I've got Instagram. I've got all of that. All that. I'm about to put this album on Jam. Mezzanine.
What album?
It's Massive Attacks, Mezzanine. Get it on TikTok.
What type of music?
Psychedelic, rock, electronic, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's old.
Mezzanine
Older.
sounds like a peptide.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe.
Mezzanine 3.
It's actually a type of steel. Fun fact.
Tis. Beaten.
It's what you build your roof out of if you ever want to plan to add a second floor on top and whatnot.
I adore Massive Attack. I want to see your setup. I don't know how I would show you. Also, my setup is trashed right now. Dude, my setup gets so messy sometimes. Whoa, hold on.
Huh?
I feel like you just made that. Oh my god, this album's so good. If I turned Crisp off, you guys could probably hear it. Can you guys hear that? Hold on. Let me see. I want to see how well sound translates. Hold on, let me turn it off here. He said sounds great. No shit, really? Hell yeah. Speakers are pumping right now, dude. Hold on, let's see. Entering the Matrix. Yeah. Feel that bass. Yeah, I've got subwoofers too. If you guys look at those speakers back there. This shit goes so hard, dude. That's so cool, you guys can hear that. That's because I can't turn crisp off here on TikTok. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, dude! If that's true, dude, that's actually diabolical. I'm gonna go play guitar, guys. I'll see you guys later. I was just saying about TikTok. God damn, I can't wait to listen to that album. Sheesh. Bro, what? No way. Pay to keep playing the story. That's a new one for a single player. Damn, the final boss ain't cops, it's goddamn inflation. I might steal that one for my TikTok. They have, well, fuck yeah, you can't be off the fucking servers. Yo, Zebo. This says story mode, dude. Yo, Zebo saw my story. That's fucking hilarious. Before you text me with high expectations, imagine a wild horse running free in a field. Would you expect that horse to reply in 24 hours? Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, man. Where?
The horses?
No, I mean, I think some of that meat is getting sent overseas, dude. You know, but I'm not. I can't really speak factually on that one. I don't know where that meat is coming from. I'm not eating it, so. Luckily, we have local butchers and local farms in Georgia that we can go and actually go to the farmer's market this weekend to go stock up. I'm about to get rid of one of my, get a new outdoor fridge and get a fill it up with meat. Fill it up with meat. All right, y'all. Oh shit. Yeah, brother. I hope you guys have a good night.
Y'all pray for Tesla tonight.
Alright, will do. Peace out, guys.